For example, you can go out there and protest, but are you protesting with the remnants of your slumber taking control of your body, of your mind, of your speech, of your behavior? Or are you able to stay centered in the eye of the storm and come from the end game perspective, end game being awakening, end game being the unity of all people, the fairness, the justice of this civilization living as a unified species, as a unified people? Are you able to approach the protests? Are you able to approach the demonstrations? Are you able to approach whatever you choose to do or respond with from a state of seeing, having a strong visual, a strong sense within yourself of that end game unity? Can you come from unity? My friends, if we can come from unity, then whatever we do will be turned to gold so quickly. We are alchemists. We are vibrational alchemists. Our consciousness, our intention are alchemists. We have the power to turn lead into gold overnight. But this requires the awakening from the root awakening. The awakening to tap into the awakening beyond the initial crude awakening that so many are experiencing right now. So I ask you, I encourage you to tap into the unity, to not be fooled further, to not be utilized any further by these illusions, by these shadows, and to stand firm in love. And stand firm in love doesn't mean you don't respond, doesn't mean you don't act, doesn't mean you don't say anything. It also doesn't necessarily mean you act in some kind of overt or dramatic way. It's not the way for everyone to do that. That also, again, needs to be respected. There is great value in deliberate, intentional silence. There's great power in intentionally choosing to play this game differently and to send out, to broadcast a different message, a different frequency, one of love, one of the end game. And although to the reactive mind, who's been in slumber for so long, who is now only beginning its awakening, forced by circumstantial events, it can seem like the response of those who have already begun this searching, this yearning for truth, for true justice, for true fairness, for true equality, for true unity within themselves, within this existence. They have already awoken from the initial awakening, and so their responses might be different, but they are very, very valuable. So I'm encouraging you all to maintain the frequency, the state of being, of love, light, and the end game, to remain optimistic against all odds, against all seeming circumstantial evidence, and to radiate from the end game. And it's no different with your personal endeavors, in terms of like the empowerment walk, where you approach whatever project it is that you are approaching from the end game as if it's already been accomplished. Those with a strong vision typically manifest it the fastest because they come from the feeling state, from the confidence to conviction in the end game. So what's the end game to all this? Just consider everything that's occurring right now, what it's pushing us towards. Tune into that end game result, which is unity, which is awakening, which is enlightenment on a global scale, ultimately in the highest reality. Come from that state. Shift yourself into that parallel frequency, that parallel reality, and you will begin to see evidence of this. You will begin to attract the resources, the means, the wisdom, the clarity, the knowledge of when to speak, when not to speak, what to say when you do speak, and how to be quiet when you are quiet, how to demonstrate when you demonstrate, and how to demonstrate non-demonstration when you choose to demonstrate non-demonstration. As long as it's intentional and deliberate and conscious. So it's still participation. It is still coming from love, from compassion, from the desire to see all beings in their highest alignment and to know the intrinsic value and worthiness of all creatures, regardless of skin color, pigment, amount, heritage, and all that. And it goes so far beyond that. All our differences are fake illusions. All our differences are surface waves on the ocean of our unity, my friends. So I encourage you to tap into the end game unity, to stay strong in your vibration, in your faith, in that unity, and to allow your actions to be informed by that end game. Watch for your own reactions that come from everything you already know from the slumber state, everything you've already developed in yourself from the conditioned slumber state that's now being awoken, that you're now being woken up from. There's so much love. There's so much love available in the substratum of existence itself, in this natural intrinsic unity consciousness that's present in all beings. Every creature you meet, even a rock, a blade of grass, a black person, a white person, a yellow person, an animal, doesn't matter. What they all have in common is this deep unity consciousness, this essential oneness, this essential beingness, this I amness, this existence. Let that be your mainstay. Let that be your foundation. Let that be the end game from which you come. See the truth beyond the truth. See the truth beyond the initial awakening. See the truth beyond the catalytic events. I encourage you, I implore you to dig as deep as you can into the love that is universal, into the perfection that's already at the substratum of all things, that's already beyond the surface, so that you're no longer fooled, that you're no longer used, misused, abused, victimized by your own consent, ultimately, even if it appears to not be by your own consent. Stay true. Yes, stand up for what's true, especially if that's what's immediately relevant in your physical environment. Respond, don't react. Come from love, not opposition. Come from unity, not separation. It sounds so bumper sticker, and I apologize for that. But it really is the way, my friends. If we want an enlightened civilization, or even any degree of it beyond what we see today, it is imperative that we expedite our self-forgiveness, our forgiveness of perpetrators and others. Again, doesn't mean we don't demonstrate per se, doesn't mean we don't take a stance, doesn't mean we don't speak out against injustice when that's obviously required, when that's obviously what shows up in our experience. But please, within yourself, in the deepest level of your state of consciousness, please, my friends, for your own sake, for the sake of this world, for the sake of every living, breathing creature on this planet, for the sake of this planet itself, for the sake of our future timelines, for the sake of the parallel reality, the quantum reality that we choose to stand for, to stand firm in, and to therefore create and perceive around us in due time. It is imperative that we stand strong in a vibration that is commensurate with the reality that we want to see. And that's not opposition, that's not separation between the people. That is unity, that is enlightenment, that is forgiveness, radical acceptance. This is the strongest stance. I know many will disagree with this, and I understand. And I know you think I won't understand, and that's okay too. Maybe I don't understand. But I do know the power of oneness. I do know the power of staying rooted in a state of consciousness commensurate with unity, with enlightenment that's beyond the games, that's beyond the oppositional games of polarity, of man and female, of right and wrong, of black and white. I know the power of that unity. I know the power of that love. It's performed miracles all around me, all within me, for as long as I can remember my adult life. I know the power of unity, and I implore you to seek for that power of unity, to meditate on that, and then allow that unity to inform you, to inform your actions, your speech, and to have faith in that. My deepest love goes out to all, not only those that do this or those that experience that. My love goes out to all. We are all confused. We are all being rudely awakened. And we all deserve to know that love, which lies at the very substratum, the root of existence. I radiate this. I love you. Stay strong.